Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago 8 Television, and thank you for staying with us. All right, we begin conversations this morning in studio, and of course, we start off by speaking with Mr. Jesse Taylor, Cultural Officer 4 in the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities, and Transportation. And this morning, we're talking about Emancipation celebrations for 2024. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Taylor.
Pleasant good morning to you. It's a pleasure to be here and to share in emancipated feeling of freedom and our, road to our own expression of how we do it here.
That's right. That's right. And it's always a pleasure having conversations with you here in studio. And, we're talking, as you mentioned, emancipation, our road to freedom. And, the fact that sometimes we take things for granted, as you mentioned that. We take a lot of things for granted. And I feel it's because we don't really know our history. We don't know the pains that went before us for us to be here to enjoy the things that we enjoy. And so now we're talking about emancipation celebrations 2024. And what is that going to look like in the Tobago space? So let's have that kind of conversation.
Pomp and glory, parade, street parade. This year the theme is a people, a nation, a journey of the drum to freedom. Because in times past, the drum was revered as the voice which echoed over the plantation, which was really responsible for sending message, for bringing healing, for soothing, for all the rituals that they would have done, and essentially the first voice, so to speak. And so this year we salute the drum. We have joined with the Tobago Drummers Association, and we are proud to have the drum explosion as part of the Emancipation Day Parade that culminates the Tobago Heritage Festival, but is under the remit of the Culture Department in the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities, and Transportation.
And it's amazing how Africans, where we are from, who we are, we have so many different rituals and so many different objects that we use to send messages.
Very symbolic.
And that's
the shells,
right.
The bell,
That's right.
the shak-shak, and many everything that we use, and even had to be stylized, where I say so. The tambourine, for instance, which is another version of the drum, the fiddle and the music, is all part of that musical ancestry that has long been part of our history, but sometimes it has not been truly valued. And it's our intention this year to spend some time and indeed to even explore its movement, the passage, and how it have become even more inclusive and is now very celebratory and embracing things like utilizing the pan, national instrument, as part of the orchestra.
And this is really, really amazing and beautiful, and it's kind of poor raising, to connect with your origin, where you came from,
You
and
know
the
where
story.
you come from, you can't know where you go.
That's right.
People without a culture, people without a soul.
That's right. And to tell the story, as you talk about the journey to freedom, you're talking about celebrating this symbol, this object that we use to communicate,
Precisely.
whether it is joy, sorrow, peace, a way of escape.
Exactly. When they need healing, and what is remarkable about this, is that Trinidad and Tobago as a nation, they were among the first of the people who observed this since 1985. But even before that, in the 18th century, even as we were struggling towards a freedom, and what eventually to 1833, 1834, and then 1838, and all that freedom that came with our right to choose to become no longer colonized, but here we could see a rich people and who are really inextricably linked to their cultural patterns, their belief, and the way of dress, and the way they carry themselves, their values, the food, and all of those things, the artifacts, and how we are able to use those things to conjure up the image of yesteryear and to really celebrate the struggles that is now a joy of freedom, a road of freedom, the bells of freedom, the drums of freedom, marching, symbolically representing a movement from one place to another, but certainly a place of growth and a place of ambition and a will to succeed.
And I do hope that our young people are buying into this, and
they're very involved.
I love to hear it.
Yes, very involved. We have been able to gather the support of lots of the youth groups. We've seen over the years, through the outreach and the cultural outreach, we've seen the embrace, and it's now culturally appropriate, if I say so. So we now have a stronger unit, and that has been forged from many of the training systems, the things we do out of the division, out of the department. Aside to that, we also have the Prime Minister's Best British Trophy Commission, which also is a beacon of light for those things, you know.
Absolutely amazing. I know we're talking about the street parade itself. So talk us through the routes and what we can expect on the routes.
Yeah, so we gathered at the Coliseum, which is almost obliquely opposite the park going into Pigeon Point, and then we journey alongside the main street, and we go all the way and turn off into the park, and then we go into the Storby on the Storby Beach facility, tradition where they would have had the great race, and then the facilities will be set up in such a way so we'll have active session, immersive session, drums, chants, singing, and patrons who attend would be able to witness some of those things that would have been happening, would have happened over the festivals, and some of those things that would have grown simultaneously parallel to the festival, that is things out of Best Village and other things that we'd have been nurturing during the process.
All right. And what time does the parade start?
9 a.m. is gathering, 10 a.m. kickoff start, and then once we get into with all the pomp and the ceremony and the drums and the chants and the various groups and different costumes and different things that we do to mark the movement right into, because it can also be a source of reenactment of some of the things that we long and revered in terms of drumming and music and dance and speeches. And then once we get to that place, then yes, we spill into what is the drum explosion and some of those highlights that has largely defined the festival this year.
And Jesse, why is it important for someone to come out there and to witness that firsthand rather than seeing the images that might appear on social media or any other medium?
I think that actual opportunity to experience, I think is a sense of homage, is a sense of rebirth, resurgence, ignition of our, that fire, that flame that burns within all of us. I think that there's no better opportunity to celebrate our freedom than on Freedom Day, Emancipation Day, and Tobago, and the Tobago House of Assembly allows us that opportunity to, congregate with people of similar beliefs, to reach people, because, we have people of the 12 tribes, different people from society, so that there's this opportunity for you to have the intergenerational transfer of knowledge, to meet a great aunt, auntie, to your family, to experience the trotting, to truly reminisce on what have been and what could have been, what we have, and certainly the potential for what our future can look like.
That's right, that's right. And coming out of the division of tourism, what are the other activities that we can expect? I know we're heading into independence and all other types of celebrations.
Immediately ahead of us will be the Prime Minister's Best British Trophy competition. I am happy to say that the division has been able for the first time to be spearheading the first Tobago finals in Tobago of the Prime Minister's Best British Trophy competition. We saw alarming and increasing alarming and very, very positive showcase of cultural prowess and excellence that had the Tobago Trinidad come to pass almost running scared. So we now have what is arguably the largest contingent out of Tobago as a district as against Trinidad. So next weekend there'll be folk fair. So there's a folk fair, there's a little petite man as well, and then there's also a folk fair queen, an opportunity for Tobago again to go to Trinidad to show who could cook the best dish, the best Tobago. You know when
right,
coming to food,
right.
you took the Tobago, the culinary, and the concoctail, the cuckoo, and the callaloo, and the crab. And so we got in there to get there, but then on the 17th and the 18th, we also have the Tobago Folk Festival Finals, and that will be at Shore Park, and it's over 2-day activities. I will certainly be back to talk about those things, which would encourage and invite all of Tobago to attend to see what has been happening in the division and how we'll be able to invest in our youth, in the community, and coordinate and be, having this collaboration with our stakeholders, and how important it is to develop tomorrow today.
And you mentioned something I was just about to ask about in terms of collaborative efforts, including communities. You spoke about the young persons earlier, and the community involvement,
Very important
ensuring
to
that the
us,
culture remains active in each community.
Precisely. And not only that we retain the authentic traditions, that we are able to nurture and budding talent, to see where the talent discovery, because as you know, the next layer is emerging, and the preparation bed for the next layer is also important. So we have focused our training heavily, even more so on the communities. We continue to have our collaboration with other sister divisions and other agencies that are non-governmental in structure, so that we could be able to be the best that we could have, a nice, cohesive, collaborative, and really strong, that it really aligns itself to the goals and objectives, one, of the department, and then, of course, that aligns itself with the mandate and the vision of the division as a whole.
Absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with Jessie Taylor, Cultural Officer 4 in the Division of Tourism. Cultural Officer 2, thanks for the correction there, in the Division of Community Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation this morning. As we talk about Emancipation Day celebrations and all that is happening coming out of the division, there's so many things, and I'm happy to learn, Jessie, this morning that, we're keeping the culture alive, that we actively we're going into communities and we engage in our young people.
Layered with the youths, and we compete against other emerging trends, world dance and music and street this, and then we also have technology, and we have cell phones and iPads. So our work is really cut out for us, but I'm seeing in Tobago is bearing fruit, even at the primary school levels, and through all these things that we've been garnering support and putting direct energies in. And I must give commendation to those who lead us in the division, who are the architects of what we do, and to help us shape and shade under that proverbial bamboo tree that is essentially going to be fruitful for all of us.
Of course, absolutely amazing stuff happening there at the division, and of course spearheaded by Cultural Officer 2. If you know Jessie Taylor at all, you know that he has his hands in many different things as he tries to keep the culture alive here on the island of Tobago, and to teach, not just to keep it alive, but to ensure that the young ones are actively involved and aware of what has happened in the past and where we are going with our culture. So many of our stories are untold, but I'm telling you, we are going to have the opportunity to continue to tell our stories.
I do believe that our children are the future.
That's right.
And as the song said, if we teach them well, we can allow them to lead the way.
That's
so
right.
We just show them the beauty that they possess. And if we are able to bring that out, then the world will be a much better place. It will be a deterrent for crime and other social disorders. And we should be looking towards that, because you see where Tobago is kind of heading. So we're trying to ensure that we nip the bud and put the children and the youth into something that's positive, encourage them to become more beautiful by being more beautiful inside and shining on the outside.
Absolutely amazing, amazing stuff. And that is what we want in all of our societies, all our communities here on the island of Tobago. Emancipation celebrations taking place, of course, on the 1st of August. 9 a.m. is the gathering time at the Colosseum there in Crown Point, heading onwards to...
Join the trot.
That's right, heading onwards to Storby, where they will be having the celebrations going on there. So you want to be a part of that.
And we have a craft market and African market and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a good day. It has always been, and this year will be no exception. We pray for good weather, but we are blessed. We are happy for what we are blessed with, and we will make it do.
That's right, that's right. Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Taylor. Speaking with Jessie Taylor, Cultural Officer 4 in the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us. Share the live.
Share the live.
Share the live. We'll be back.